Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This time we are going to be talking more about Leblanc. And now that I see, well, there's also these new cards that have to do with the Zira and his stand soldiers, but what I want to focus on is Leblanc. I've already expressed in my initial thoughts on like reactions to Leblanc on why she's bad, and it seems like a lot of people agree. And so I kind of wanted to make this video just to discuss ideas on how we could change her to make her either more representative of her playstyle in League, or just to buffer her current state. Now, this is going to be a little bit more of a ramble thing, and I know there's all these fancy new cards all around her, and I'm going to focus on just Leblanc. First off, let's re-go over why she's weak. The reason why Leblanc is weak and cannot be compared to, let's say, TF or Zoe when they first launched is a very simple thing. It is deck building cost. Draw, in the case of TF, draw is something ideal in a card deck, and so going out of your way to get some more draw in a deck is not much of a cost at all. In fact, it's actually a merit. In the case of Zoe, you literally just have to sacrifice a champ slot, and you have this 1 mana card that can, if hits the Nexus, gives you value, and there isn't any more strings attached there. Leblanc, however, you'll notice she doesn't provide any value upon first entry, or basically value at all on her base form, like Zoe or TF does. TF gives you a pick a card. Zoe gives you the chance to get a star chart and to get more card value and flexibility. LeBlanc is just a 5/2 with quick attack. And so if he's not giving you extra value, we have to base her solely on how good she is on those stats. And 2 health is an abysmal stat to have on a champion. Take a look at Lucian. Lucian is 2 mana, 3/2, quick attack. Very similar in nature. However, the 1 mana down and the ease of leveling him up, thanks to Shadow Isles, is what makes him somewhat relevant. Now compare that to Leblanc. Leblanc has the exact same health, but it's 1 more mana, and is arguably harder to level up than Lucian. Arguably harder to level up than Lucian. And the reason for that is because of the 15 damage. We don't really have a lot of things, at least to my knowledge, that can deal 15 damage. Dealing 15 damage all in 1 turn after you spent 3 mana on playing Leblanc. With Lucian, we have cards like Haunted Relic. Haunted Relic, on the same turn you play Lucian, you could, if you have the mana banked, well, not the same turn. Not exactly the same turn, but on the turn after. And on the turn after, you can play Haunted Relic, which gives him more than 75% of his level up in 1 action, which is the important part here. In 1 action, Lucian can get mostly leveled up. In 1 action, Callista was kind of similar in the idea that she doesn't provide anything on her base form other than her keyword and stats. Can level up in 1 action. LeBlanc cannot level up in one action with the current cards we have. It requires multiple actions, which means multiple chances for the opponent to disrupt you. And that is the core of LeBlanc's problem. That is the very core of the problem. And that's not where it ends, though. Her level up, when she levels up, the quote unquote win condition that you get is not that game ending. There's so much investment that needs to go into this level up, only to get be able to be to summon an exact copy of something that has ephemeral anyways. So it's gonna die anyway. Like what? Why can't we get mirror image more easily? Why? Is it broken somehow to copy champions and have them be ephemeral? I mean, Anivia exists. There's several different other ways to spawn multiple champions. I mean, hell, if you just look at Hourglass and Talia, that they showed it in the trailer. You get the stasis statue from the Hourglass on your current Talia. You play another Talia, you copy it. Now you have 3 Talias. And that's not going to happen all the time, but that's a fairly common combo as it is. Because you're likely going to be running Stasis Statue in a Talia deck for protection, and it bumps up her win condition, her level up. So why is Mirror Image so hard to get? I don't understand. And it's also frustrating because Mirror Image is probably the closest thing that you can pair with her actual skill set in League. In League, LeBlanc is the trickster. She is the mage in the shadow who changes her face and controls Noxus in the background. And Mirror Image actually does a fairly good job of that. And some of her other spells are fairly representative of what she does. Mimic, that's an actual spell she has. Sigil of Malice, that's an actual spell she has in LOL. And so I'll give it to them there. They seem to have translated a lot of her spells into some of the actual spells of the game, which is a fair way to represent a champion. However, the core gimmick that they decided to put on this champion is A, hard to get, B, not that much value for the amount of effort you have to get to it, and C, could have been handled better. And this is going to be where I jump into the changes that I would make for LeBlanc. Now, the first and most obvious change, if just number-wise, similar to what they did with Callista, bump up her health by 1. You could do that, leave everything as is, and she would still be around as viable. Actually, she'd probably be around as viable as Draven. Yeah, she'd probably be about as viable as Draven, while also propelling this idea of the reputation archetype, and it wouldn't feel too bad because then you're making more positive trades with her, and you don't die to Mystic Shot, which is a negative trade. Mystic Shot is 2 mana. She's 3 mana. At least if they get excited, then it's an even trade. And I think this is also funny. She also dies to her own. She dies to her own Sigil of Malice spell. That's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. But that's only at base level. If you just want to have a quick fix for the current LeBlanc, just add +1 health. If you're looking to rework her more, though, all right, we got a couple of options. 1. If she's supposed to be propelling or centralized behind this reputation archetype, why isn't her level up condition centered around reputation? That 15 damage could have easily been, I've seen you play a certain amount of reputation cards. And that would make a lot more sense with her spells being reputation. Because then it connects her spells more and synergizes more with the actual champion. If you actually are required to play reputation cards in order to level up Leblanc, while she herself, stat-wise, is able to help you get reputation, that just creates a cycle of synergy right there. And it's perfectly viable. Now, of course, if you did that and not the health buff, then, of course, she'd still be kind of terrible, because she would be, traded down by Mystic Shot. Well, how do you fix that other than a health buff? You make her have an immediate effect on entry. Why not get Mirror Image on entry? Why not? It would actually be interesting to play Leblanc on 3 and then create another Leblanc. That would be huge for the reputation archetype. And if you're worried about her leveling up too easily because of that, then just change her level up condition, like I said before. Honestly, I feel like Mirror Image should be on the upfront on this to make up for the fact that she has 2 health. She's frail, but then you have a chance to copy her. Now, of course, it's slow speed and therefore counterable. So if they have Mystic Shot, then yeah, they're gonna have Mystic Shot and they're gonna stop this. But it doesn't necessarily have to be placed on LeBlanc either. There are other 5 power minions in Noxus that would love this, like Glory Seeker. Actually, though, creating an ephemeral Glory Seeker is awesome. Glory Seeker is going to die anyways when she pulls in something with her challenger having 1 health. So why not? Why not create another Glory Seeker with this? It could also bait out removal that would have been used on LeBlanc. That would have been so much more interesting than just having her have quick attack. LeBlanc is the sort of champion that should have these value or tricks that you get on entry. Just how she is in game and in lore. That's how it should be. But that all of that's been pushed into her level up and behind a massive gate of 30 damage, at the very least of 30 damage, because there's been confirmation that she does not get Mirror Image upon level up. Now, they might change that, and that is a good change as well. To get Mirror Image on level up, that would be a nice change. In fact, I would have it so that when you play her, you get Mirror Image. When you level her up, you get Mirror Image. And then maybe each time you see the 15 damage, you get Mirror Image after that. So she is a periodic engine where on play, on level up, and then every time it's continued, he gets it. Because at the end of the day, it's an ephemeral copy of something. It's only going to be there for 1 turn. And arguably, you could even change the speed on Mirror Image. You could make this a fast speed spell, and that would make this far more valuable. Because now it can be used. Let's say, since it's an exact copy, let's say you're trying to level up your TF. All right, but your TF is going to be removed right as you're about to level up. What do? Well, you play Mirror Image in response, get another TF, and then you play your card like Zap Spray Fin. They get that 1 card that you need to level up. So it could be used as a combat trick of sorts to fulfill conditions. It could even be paired off with other ephemeral decks in that case. which should be far more interesting. Having LeBlanc paired with Hecarim would be really cool. But that's not feasible in her current state because of just how much work you have to get for this one card. For this one card that you would be lucky to get. You would be lucky to get once in the entire game if everything aligns. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest change I would make to LeBlanc. Make mirror image more plentiful. Make mirror image appear more often, whether it be on a play effect or immediately after she levels up. And if it's immediately after she levels up, make her level up condition different or easier to obtain. And I mean, that's also a very easy fix. You just turn this 15 into a 10, into 10 damage. Now all she needs to do is attack twice. Now, of course, doesn't change the base problem with her health, but it still makes it more feasible to get to the core of the champion, which is this spell right here. Because without this spell, LeBlanc is just a pile of attack stats with a very frail body. I think I've ranted enough. I think of all the things I talked about, I'm gonna list out the biggest buffs that I would like to see. First, do that health buff. Honestly, make her comparable to Draven. Draven has axes and so basically has discard synergy and can basically bump up his attack by 1. So why can't LeBlanc just be the body of 5/3 quick attack? 2. Why is mirror image so hard to get? Make sure mirror image either upon level up or maybe make it easier on strike. You get a fleeting mirror image in your hand. That's a good way to say it. Like each time you LeBlanc or a 5+ minion attacks or strikes, create a mirror image, a fleeting mirror image in hand. Just some way to balance it out so that mirror image can be utilized more often, so that we can actually see that's a lot more synergy point in this champion. And 3, change the level up. Like seriously, I've seen you deal 15 damage is boring. It's boring. If you want her to embody the archetype of reputation, have it be play a certain amount of reputation, or just make it less. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this ramble, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.